Hello, my friends. Boomy here once again with another video for you, my Diablo brothers and sisters. How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone is doing well and enjoying what's left of summer and enjoying the nice breezes of fall. My friends, Gamescon happened last week. There's a lot of information that came out about a lot of games. We have so many awesome games coming our way. I mean, heck, Starfield is like... early access is coming up. It's kind of crazy. But we also got a lot of news in regards to Diablo 4. We got introduction and the announcement of Season 2 to Season of Blood, or as I like to call, Tuesday nights. But there was also a lot of interviews that were done, and WoWHead came up and compiled all the interviews that happened and gave us a quick snapshot of what they talked about, and that's what we're going to go into right now. So sit back, enjoy, eat some bloody popcorn, and let's have fun. Yes, I did that pun on purpose. Now we're going to start off with golem.com, which is like a technology for professionals IT website. They asked a lot of questions, and here are some of the breakdowns too, where people were asking, and this is what Blizzard had to say. They said that there are two teams at Blizzard that are working simultaneously on seasons. One team for the odd-numbered seasons, and the other for the even-numbered seasons. This way, they can develop continuously because a season might take longer to develop than expected, and that makes total sense. And that's a great way to do it, and that's how a lot of teams do it in the music industry. What the hell, in the gaming industry too, where like World of Warcraft, for example, they're already working on the next expansion. There's a team separate that's working on an expansion that comes after Dragonflight, while teams are working on Dragonflight right now, and so that's actually very standard and one should do. Wish SOTOR would do that. That'd be great. And for fan sites, another German site, Blizzard, said that, Blizzard is aware of the feedback regarding being able to respec the Paragon board with one click, which would be awesome. It's on their list of things to do, which keeps growing. Blizzard will think about the idea of loot filters and will take it back home, to talk about. Blizzard is aware of the feedback regarding an overlay map. It's on their list as well. Unique item drop rates will be increased across the board. This is always welcome news, because at this point, we will never see an uber rare unique ever in our lifetime, except for that one guy in like Japan or China. Anyways, somewhere over there. Blizzard also acknowledged the feedback regarding an armory loadout system similar to Diablo 3, and they are adding it to their list. And there is no planned PTR for D4. And that's not being planned, and that sucks. And, Game Zoom, another German site, Blizzard said nothing to announce regarding future crossover events between Diablo 4 and other Blizzard titles, which sucks. I really enjoyed the crossovers they were doing with the different games, especially in World of Warcraft, when you got the really cool mount if you got the special edition and all that jazz. But also that there are certain times the treasure goblin would come up, and you got to hunt it down and kill it and get all the goodies. I love when games or companies have different IPs, but there are crossovers. I think that is great, and who knows, maybe down the road there will be. And everyone keeps asking for a Blood Knight, and although one could argue a Season of Blood would have been a great time to implement one, there are no plans to implement the Blood Knight from Diablo Immortal into Diablo 4. Both games are unique in their own ways. However, everyone is asking for a freaking Blood Knight to become in Diablo 4, just saying. And they also went on to say that nothing to announce regarding future expansions for Diablo 4. The focus is on Season 2 at the moment. And you know what? That is totally fair. Season 1 kind of came out with okay. Well, what's this? Why? And then we got the forlorn, melancholy dev stream, which was really hard to see those guys talking, because you're just like, man, these guys are beaten. Ugh. But I'm happy to see that they're a lot happier in these other dev streams, so that's great. But yeah, focus on Season 2, because Season 1 was already done. It was done when D4 released. So that was done, and Season 2 was getting spit and polished on. So hopefully from here on out, they will learn, and I feel like they have learned some stuff. We've gotten some updates and some quality of life stuff, and they are listening to the community, and I hope they continue to do so. Let's continue on. In Rock, Paper, Shotgun, one of my favorite games, Rod Ferguson says, as part of listening to players wanting to carry over the renown, we had to put the patch out of a couple days before the season. The intention is that a season and a patch would go live the same day. So at the time we make a balance change and you start a level 1 character, it feels differently to go through the progression with a new balance. He also, Rod Ferguson also continues, says, I've been using the spoonful of sugar to make the medicine go down analogy. And so I think when we were trying to be so quick in our responsiveness and trying to be so pure with the balance, that I think we reached really quickly to getting in the balance right, but we didn't take the time to bring all the sugar. It was more medicine and less sugar, and we're not doing that anymore. And pretty much, you know, I kind of get that analogy. They kind of just like ripped the band-aid and said, here you go, take it. And you're like, I don't like Epicac. And then it just went downhill from there. Instead of doing a slow boil and going, here guys, this is going to happen. But, here are reasons. Here's some sugar, hugs and kisses. You'll be fine. So I kind of get that, but I'm glad they've learned their lesson on that one, because at the end of the day, their jobs are literally on the line. So yeah, I'm glad they learned their lesson. Let's hope they continue to. Rod Ferguson continued to go on. Blizzard will refrain from nerfing something in the future if it is slightly out of balance, but players are having fun with it. The aim is to strike a better balance between buffs and nerfs, and not to be ruled by outliers. No, sometimes just let people have fun. Let them have fun. And Chris Wilson said, as we start to better understand the different types of players, we want to make sure we're servicing all of them, season after season. It may not all happen in season 2, but in time we're going to find ways to make sure that the completionists, or just the explorer, or the competitive players are all being fed, essentially, and getting what excites them as a player. And in a GameSpot interview, they went on to say in these bullet points, there are significant balance changes in the future. Blizzard wants to make sure that there are things that the community will like to go with it. Yeah, it's just, yeah, maybe I'm just reading that wrong and my brain just died, but you understand. They continue, social media data and metrics, etc. are all great tools to show the full picture if something really is a problem, or if it's just the vocal minority voicing their concern. So, you know, the keyboard warriors out there who, you know, just thrive off hate and all that jazz. Yeah, Reddit. They continue, that does not mean that everything coming from the vocal minority shouldn't be taken into account. You want to take that feedback in as well. There is a balance between what Blizzard is hearing and what they are seeing, well, from their data, and what they are feeling when they play. Helltide, Nightmare Dungeons, Tree of Whispers, and PvP felt like a great starting place for Diablo 4's endgame. They said this is the beginning and not the ending. This is the foundation we are building upon. And that's, I mean, I can see where they're coming there. Endgame's a little questionable, but you can't build a freaking castle unless you have a foundation first, people. Come on. And they continue, Diablo 4's endgame will evolve over time, starting with the 5 bosses in Season 2 and the leaderboards in Season 3. They said, and they quote, it is a balancing act, depending on what it is we are trying to address. It can obviously take development time to get it right. You don't want to be too hasty to rush change, because you may end up imbalancing the game in a different way that you maybe didn't foresee, which I have seen so many times in other games, and it just became a total nightmare. I get it. They continue, you have to take your time to think it through. How do we want to address the problem that has been flagged? Look at it in terms of priority as well. There are oftentimes competing priorities. Making sure that you are targeting the things that can have the biggest impact for the player first and foremost, and then finding the right time to release those things. They continue, there are 4 teams working on Diablo 4. 2 teams for seasons, 1 for the odd, and 1 for the even-numbered seasons, 1 team focusing on the live game, and 1 team for expansions. And Blizzard is also learning if the Battle Pass and the shop work for a game like Diablo 4. They are gathering information as the game goes on. Listen, I have no issue with there being a Battle Pass or with there being an in-game shop. I think a lot of people's main issues, especially with the Battle Pass, is, yeah, it's kind of like a traditional Battle Pass, but most Battle Passes, when it comes to in-game currency, will give you enough currency to either buy the nice big shiny thing in the game, in the in-game store, or to, you know, be able to purchase the next Battle Pass. Whereas in this one, especially in the in-game store, prices are way too damn high. No one's I'm not dropping $25 for a shiny piece of armor that looks pretty. I'm not going to. Most people aren't going to do, especially in these days, in this economy. Good Lord. And for the Battle Pass, I like what's there. I don't honestly have a big problem with it. What I do have an issue with is the amount of currency, in-game currency, they're giving you in this Battle Pass. It doesn't make sense. I get the whole 666 thing, party on, haha, I get it, evil, rare. But they need to go back on that one and up that as well, or lower the prices in the in-game shop. That's all I'm saying you have to do. Otherwise, I don't have a big issue on the fundamental or the foundation of those two things. And in conclusion, they said, when it comes to the mentality, you are Blizzard, you shouldn't make mistakes. Rod explains that it is a new development team. For some, it's their first live service game. For some, it's their first shipped game ever. There is experience, but they will also need to learn as they go. The industry is always changing. The games are always changing. The players are always changing. It is going to be a learning as we go situation. What I love about a live service is we can evolve over time. It's not a fixed state. We can evolve and learn as we go. And you know what? I agree with that. Live service games are completely different than a boxed shipped game with everything's done, and you might get a patch every once in a while, or you might not. Like back in the yonder day, when you got the game, you got the game. That was it. You played it, you beat it, you played it again, you beat it again. I'm talking about games, right? What am I talking about? But live service games are completely different. They're constantly growing. They're constantly evolving. There's always something going on. Something is always going to break. So I get that, and I understand, and I agree with what Rod Ferguson is saying here. So throw your hate. I don't care. It is what it is. He's not lying. But there you go. There is some of the snapshots and things and takeaways that we got from Gamescom for Diablo 4 in the interviews that they had. Like I said, I think it's great. I love these interviews. Now, what I want to really see is them take what they said in the interviews and put it into practice and actually deliver. That's all we really want. And yeah, the very extremely vocal minority in this game, just like in the real world, a lot of times people are just following the bandwagon, doing what the keyboard warriors want them to do, going, yeah, I hate this game too. Why? I don't know, because he said it on Reddit and on the internet. And whatever's on the internet is true. My point of view is thus. If you're having fun, even if there are some issues, continue having fun. If you want to spend money on it, spend money on it. Don't let anyone sway you otherwise. There you go. Done. I made your life a lot better on that one, didn't I? As my friends, let's continue the conversation in the comment section below. Let me know all your thoughts on all this, no matter what they are. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, the bell notification button, and make sure you share this. It really does help the video out and myself out, the channel, a lot. And make sure you hit that subscribe button, become part of the family here at BoomyNation, the freak show of YouTube, the black sheep of gaming. And as always, my friends, remember to be kind. It's about community, and we'll see you later. Good day.